Right then, so I believe that Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitry Bivol is one of the most unpredictable fights in boxing right now, to be honest with you. It's such a great fight, if we're being honest here. Two completely different styles going at it. And honestly, it's so 50-50. It really is 50-50. Like, I have got someone in my mind who I believe will win this fight. But again, I'm not 100% sure because they both have such a great chance of winning. And it's unpredictable with the kind of styles that they've both got. We've got Artur Beterbiev, 20 wins, 20 knockouts, 0 losses. Honestly, it's unbelievable, to be fair. Knocked every single one of his opponents out. He's an absolute monster in there, to be fair, Artur Beterbiev. Puts his combos together well and just very smart with what he's doing, to be fair. He can outbox you as well. And just he's always able to outwork you. And he's one of the best 40-year-olds we've seen for, to be honest with you, for a very long time, especially in divisions lower than the heavyweight division. Because if we're being honest, in the heavyweight division, you can go on for longer because the pound's the last thing you lose. But in the lower divisions, even though, light heavyweight's still pretty heavy, but, you don't see, people go on in their prime at like 40 years old. But Artur Beterbiev is still able to do that, though. And, this is the best he's ever been. He's got a massive opportunity here against Bivol, who is a master boxer. Bivol's an absolutely master. He's an absolute master, to be fair, Bivol. He's got such a good high punch volume, and he's able to put you off with his punches as well. Like, he's so unpredictable. Other people, he makes other people really hesitant quite a bit, and that's a really important thing when you're coming to a fight with Artur Beterbiev. But we know Artur Beterbiev's not gonna, he's not gonna be hesitant. He's got a good chin on him, and let's be real, Bivol's not exactly, he's not exactly, the biggest power puncher, but Bivol isn't. But, Bivol doesn't rely on his power. He just relies on his general boxing skills. And let's be real, Bivol is the more skillful guy out of the two. But let's be real, Bivol's chin hasn't been tested too much from what we've seen. And Artur because, let's be real, no one can really touch Bivol, to be fair. Bivol's just so defensively brilliant. But in this fight against Beterbiev, this is where Bivol's really going to be tested here. And, this is a completely different fight to what the Canelo fight was. It really is. People were like, oh, if Bivol can beat Canelo, we can beat anyone. It's not true. Beterbiev has a way better chance against Bivol than Canelo does. Than Canelo did. Bertabiev's got a big chance of being able to win this. But again, I feel like Bivol's getting better and better each fight, to be fair. He puts his combos together so well. He can box while going backwards. He can box while going forwards as well. He's just an all-round master of the game, to be honest with you. He really is. And he's a real hard, he's a real hard man to beat. Both guys unbeaten. So, it's hard to really be able to tell. It's really hard to tell who's going to be able to win this one, to be fair. It really is. Beterbiev, he's not going to be, I doubt he's going to be too hesitant in it, even though Bivol can put you off. But I don't think it's going to bother Beterbiev as much as it does other people, though. I don't see Beterbiev being all too hesitant in this one. And it'd be interesting to see what Bivol does when, someone's throwing back at him. But, throwing a lot back at him, and is able to get on the inside well, and how Bivol can deal with that. And how can he actually deal with someone who has the power of Beterbiev? But it's going to be interesting to see how can Beterbiev deal with someone who has the skill and, the knowledge of the sport that Bivol does. And, neither guy has came up against someone like either guy. That I'm not sure if that made sense. But, neither guy is like, I don't think Bivol's seen what Beterbiev brings to the table before in his fights. And I don't think Beterbiev's seen what Bivol brings to the table before in his fights. So it's going to be interesting. I think Bivol will look to try and keep this fight at range, while Beterbiev's going to want to try and slowly break him down. But Bivol's going to be trying to break him down at range, use the boxing well as well. And honestly, will this somehow be one-sided to one guy, though? Because let's be real, lots of 50-50 fights in boxing recently have ended up just being one-sided to either guy. So you never know. This could be Beterbiev putting an absolute beating on Bivol, or it could be Bivol giving Beterbiev an absolute boxing lesson. But I'm not sure if it will be that, though, to be fair. I see both guys having moments here, and you never know. Could we see a decision here? Could we see a close decision? Because Bivol's able to, keep composure and stick to the boxing well for good times in the fight. But again, other times, Beterbiev could be, having some big moments, hurting Bivol, possibly get a knockdown as well. But you never know. This could be a fight where, Beterbiev knocks Bivol down one or two times, but Bivol could be winning, quite a few rounds here, and Beterbiev picks up the rounds after he's knocked Bivol down, which Bivol hasn't recovered from. So it could be a close fight. It really could be a close fight that goes to decision, this one, to be fair, because honestly, I just see both guys being so hard to. I mean, honestly, I think Bivol will be hard for Beterbiev to finish. I do. Seems like a really resilient guy from what we've seen. But again, no, his chin hasn't been tested for too much. But Bivol seems to have a really strong mindset. That's what I'm trying to say. And Beterbiev does as well. Both guys have a really strong mindset. Beterbiev willing to go to hell and back, and Bivol always is able to stick to his game and do his thing really, really well. So, look, two completely different styles. It's really going to be interesting here, and it's unpredictable to see what style's going to be able to get the better out of the two that they both got. It's such an intriguing fight, in my opinion, and I can't wait for it. Who do I think is going to win? I'm feeling Bivol's going to win a close decision here. That's what I think is going to happen. Bivol might, as I said earlier, Bivol might get dropped one or two times, but I feel like he'll be able to keep his composure, get back up, and he'll be able to outbox Beterbiev for the majority of the rounds. But I see him having to go through some trouble to get this win, though, Bivol. But it's going to be interesting. But I'm backing Bivol to win this one, though. But just about 51 to 49%. But again, no, Beterbiev's got all the potential in the world to finish him. Such an interesting fight, this one. Such an interesting fight. Can't wait. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here. Thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks.